Hey guys, welcome back, and if you're just joining us, welcome aboard. My name's Mike, and today we're going to be talking about Ravva and the Cyclops Curse. Now, Ravva and the Cyclops Curse is a retro-style platformer that was developed by Galope and published by the Hidden Levels, both of which I want to take a second here to talk about because normally you can't really talk to the developers of some games, or you try to reach out and they're not super responsive. These guys have been the absolute opposite. They're very friendly, they're very talkative, they're outgoing, they're wonderful people. So if you want to get in touch with the devs for this awesome game, go talk to them. They're awesome folks. And now back to the game. It was released on January 15th, 2019 for Windows, Linux, and Mac. And it follows the story of a character named Ravva, who has to break a curse set upon her mother by the aforementioned Cyclops. And this takes Ravva on a journey through a few different locales and a whole lot of traps and danger to break the curse to rescue her mother. The gameplay for Ravva is very tight and responsive. It's what you would expect from a really good platformer from the late 80s, early 90s, from the time when platformers were at their peak. And the main mechanic in the game is based around using one of 4 summons that Ravva has to help solve minor puzzles or get past obstacles. And they work very well, and there are even some instances of the game where you have to be a little quick on the trigger to use 2 of them very closely together. Like any good retro platformer, there are a ton of secrets hidden throughout the levels, which you actually find by using Ravva's 4th summon, the little eyeball bat guy. I don't know if these guys have names. So the little bat guy will find breakable objects, hidden items, things of that nature to help you out. He's also the only summon of yours that can kill a very specific enemy later on in the game. So touching on the other summons that Ravva has, the first one is actually not super useful in combat. It's more of a utility summon. This one will actually freeze certain objects and actually freeze certain enemy obstacles, hazardous obstacles, so that you can break them and carry on. The second one is the little fire guy who shoots upward at an angle, which helps you hit things that you can't normally hit with Ravva's main attack, which is just a little Mega Man style pellet, unless you upgrade it, which just makes it taller. Can't really shoot in any other direction, so the little fire guy helps you out in that sense. And the third one, he vomits bombs, helps you break green blocks, and can actually tear through the enemies pretty quickly. If you're running through a pack of enemies and you're mashing the attack button with this guy out, you're just going to shred them. They're going to be like paper in a shredder. With that, it's not overly difficult. It is just challenging enough that it's not discouraging. There are some parts of the game, the only part of the game that I really have any kind of issue with is stage 3-3, and this is the final normal stage before the boss, so I get it, I understand. It's supposed to be a big pain in the ass, and it kind of is, depending on how you go about it. It can be a big pain in the ass, but it's also one of my favorite levels because of how much you have to work with each of your summons to get things done, and just how much the difficulty ramps up for this particular level. It's a lot of fun. It's challenging, but not frustrating, and that's the key. That's the key part of what makes Ravva and its gameplay so much fun. And as you can see by the visuals in the background, this game looks every bit as much like an 8-bit retro platformer as it should. There are a lot of games out there that say, oh, we're an 8-bit game. Like you're somewhere between 8 and 16. You look like a 12-bit game. You're kind of there, almost. It actually does look like a very, very nice 8-bit game. It's colorful, it's bright, it's cartoony, I guess. Cartoony, yeah, it's... So I really do enjoy the visuals in this game. They're cartoony, they're colorful, they have this whole little world that they've created, and it's absolutely awesome to look at. The only criticism I think I would level at the game's visuals is that while I like the enemy designs, I feel like they could have done a bit more with them. That's really about it. I mean, they're black silhouettes with an orange outline and some eyes. That's, you know, it works. It works in the world that the game is set in. It works in the world that they've created. That's really just an opinion and not even a very strong one. The audio design for Ravva is excellent. I love the music for this game. It's got some energetic, almost metal like songs in it, or tracks, that really harken back to the old days of retro platformers, where this is the kind of thing you would expect from, you know, Ninja Gaiden, or even a game that we played recently on the stream, Tyr and the Chains of Valhalla, where they just have the really energetic metal sounding soundtrack that just pumps you up, keeps you going, and it's awesome to listen to. You know, other notable ones would be like the Mega Man. Mega Man is a perfect example of having a metal-esque soundtrack in a video game, and Ravva is in the same arena for sure. So in the end, is Ravva and the Cyclops Curse a game that you would consider picking up or should consider picking up? Well, let's see. We've got a solid retro-inspired platformer that's got a great look, that plays great, has an awesome soundtrack. Its price point is, honestly, I feel a little below where it should be. It's $2.99 US. I feel like $5 would be a great price point for it, but I think it's outweighed by the main con that I have with the game, which isn't even really a con or a drawback. The game is very short. My initial blind playthrough took me somewhere around 2 hours. Well, less than 2 hours. That isn't necessarily a bad thing, because if you wind up really liking the game, this means you can go back and play through it a whole lot and get your $3 worth. It definitely gets the thumbs up from me, and if it looks like something you'd be interested in, you really don't have a lot to lose. It's $3 and worth way more than a lot of other games that you could find for $3 on Steam. It's also available on cartridge and itch.io. And that's all for now, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Until next time, you guys take care, have fun. I'll see you in the next one.